Another variation of a hip car is in standing. We can do a standing closed chain hip car. So when we are, whether we are in standing and moving our hip around like this is what we call an open chain hip car, because our leg is moving freely in space around our fixed pelvis. If we're on our hands and knees, the same thing. Our pelvis stays fixed and then our leg is moving, or our femur is moving around that fixed pelvis. A closed chain standing hip car would then be moving our pelvis around a fixed leg. So this is very, very complicated for a lot of people because many people think they're utilizing their hips, but in reality, they're moving their spine. So a way to see if you're moving through your spine is to grab a PVC pipe, a dowel rod, a broomstick, or something and place it alongside your spine. At least, at a bare minimum, have it touching your tailbone and your mid-back. If you want to get super fancy, you can have it touching your head. Because if you start moving through your hip car and parts of your spine come off of the dowel rod, we then know that you're moving through your spine and not purely through the hips. So I'm going to show you without this, and then I'm going to show you with it. The setup is going to be getting a little bit wider than shoulder width, pointing your toes out if that's comfortable. Find what works for you. Everybody's hip anatomy is a little bit different. Just do not push through closing angle joint pain. We should only feel stretching when we go through this closed chain hip car. The first move is to hip hinge, just like you would do a straight leg deadlift. Push your butt back, chest comes forward naturally, shoot the hips to one side, and we're just drawing a big circle. They come forward, to the other side, and backwards. You just need to learn how to weight shift your butt and spine in opposite directions. So as I push my butt back, my chest is naturally going to fold forward. And then as we rotate this way, our chest is naturally going to move the opposite direction because this stuff stays rigid. The spine follows where your hips are going. Nothing moves through the spine. It's just the hips that are moving. So once you start to feel this, it's essentially the pelvis rotating in kind of like a figure eight position over top of the socket, the femur, our leg bone. So it's our pelvis moving over top of our legs. I don't know which way I was going. I'm just going to keep showing you a couple more in each direction. Legs are basically staying locked out, and it's just our pelvis moving and not our spines. I'll show you from the side too. Okay, so from the side it's going to look like pushing the butt back, chest comes down naturally, but I'm not folding through my spine and I'm not bending through my spine here. Okay, same thing. When I shift back and then to one side, this is my pelvis moving over my leg. It's not my spine bending. So a lot of people, you'll see them doing stuff through their spine, thinking they're moving their hips, or they're moving their hips and their spine at the same time. So that, if it's tough for you, is when you're going to grab your dowel rod and place it along your spine, and then go through the same movement. Find that good hip hinge, shoot the hips to one side, bring the hips around town, and push them right back. And then reverse. Just drawing a circle, but the spine's not moving, it's just the hips. The more and more you focus on this and the more control you have, the happier lower back is going to be, especially if you have lower back problems, because your lower back, it's not your hips. Your hips should be able to move independently of your spine. So try it out, give it a shot, really, really work on it, because the better you can move your hips and the more independently they can move of each other, the happier your spine is going to be.